Okay, Jason, so here's your video. Good job last week. Uh, Definitely making some good improvements. So what we're focusing on with you is just learning how to get the body out sooner. And this is a great drill for you to do, keeping the hand down there, allowing the body to shift out, and then bringing the hand up after the weight has been shifted so you get that arm up in the correct slot so that you externally rotate here at a much better time. It's not so early, so you're not going to get that popping up action. Your body's going to throw. Your elbow's going to be in a better position. Once again, you know, when your elbow gets to this point here, as you start to release the ball, actually as you get towards your ear, that's where the back shoulder starts to pull down and the front arm will come up towards the ear, and your elbow should be about at ear height. You're a little low here because you're also on flat ground and you're not bracing up the front leg, but anyhow, much better job at shifting the weight sooner and breaking the hands. And when you get the hands, when you start with your hands in the glove and you break out, you just have to remember to keep your elbows closer to your body, keep them relaxed and somewhat inactive as you're actually trying to develop power from here, because you don't want to get the winged arms out here because that'll get your arms up too soon, and then you'll be right back to the old style of throwing. I mean, it does take some practice, and normally you don't want to fix too much of an arm action, but when you have an extreme arm action like you had that was really putting your arm at risk of injury and really lowering your velocity, you really have to address it. So for you, most of your work is going to have to come from just constant repetition of getting the arm to relax, drop down towards your thigh like it is here, and you have to try practicing this with your hands together as if you're going to really start pitching. But as you're doing your reps this week, this is what you should do to start, and then see what you can do when you bring your hands together. And make sure you videotape yourself so you can see, okay, are my arms winging out too much? Am I coming off the body too early? I mean, what we see with high velocity pitchers is they get their arms up later, and they're much, much more relaxed in the beginning of their delivery when it comes to their arms, especially the throwing arm. The glove arm right here looks great. You get it up nice and high, you use your shoulder here as a guide, and then you just turn it over and you tuck. And the elbow just comes down. It's not like you're violently pulling the glove hand in, which is what you don't really want to do. Okay, so good job with that. Just another couple things that we want to keep in mind here. As we work, we were going to develop some more power out of and explosiveness out of the lower body here, so we can get those hips to clear. Triple extend. When you get to landing here, when your foot is just about to land, about right there, we want this foot to be completely up off the ground. And I know you know this already, so I'm just going to go through a couple things. We want the knee to brace up. Good job with the chest staying nice and vertical, the chin behind the belt. When the knee braces up and pushes back, then we get this reaction here, and we get more of a linear, angular power out of the trunk as it flies forward. The arm's going to lay back and then fly forward afterwards. So your sequences are pretty good. We just have to tighten up here with the lower body. Okay, so some things you can work on this week. Again, weight shift, lower and relaxed handbrake so that you're moving out before you pull it out, and you can over exaggerate again if you want to, just so that you can see and feel a difference. And then at some point, you'll be able to find the midway once we learn how to power out better. So what you should work on is handbrake and timing. Okay, that's the first thing on the list, handbrake and timing, and learning how to get the body out, figuring out here for yourself how you're going to shift your weight forward. In this video, you do a pretty good job because you're not lifting your leg too high. So as you lift the leg, you start to move forward, which is great. And you actually have some great leg flexion here. So you're sitting down like on a chair and almost like in a squat position, which is really what pitchers do. They get into a squat position as they're going down the mound. Okay? But as you come up, it's got to be more of a forward movement first, more of a forward movement before a dip, because then you get stuck here with your knee. and your knee has to hold that squat. And if your knee doesn't start to move this way, because if you're throwing this way, right, you want that vector to be there, or at least as close to that kind of an angle as possible. We want to start moving out. So practice this week getting the weight on the inside of the foot, starting your delivery instead of straight up and down like this with the leg. We want to see a little bend in that knee, okay, so that you can just kick up and then shift out right away. You bend as you lift, but start with the bend so you don't have to bend and then drop and then go. You're already bent, so you just have to kick up and go. Kick up and go. And this leg's got to stay nice and relaxed. Front leg stays nice and relaxed. All this power is going to come from this leg, and then the front leg will eventually take over. Okay, so weight shift, handbrake, and let's see if we can get that first movement, that early momentum with the hips. So start with the bend in the knee, and as soon as your leg comes up, and you can practice with a low leg at first, and then as the week goes on, try to get the leg up to your normal height. But remember, take your time doing this. This is not something that we're going to fix all at once, but if we can fix the shift and the handbrake, I think you're going to really progress quickly, okay? That's going to be your little mountain to climb, but keep working on it, okay? I'll see you soon.